The skyline of Orlando is seen here during a gorgeous sunset. Quite a backdrop for our broadcast tonight. Welcome, everyone, to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. We'll watch the Orlando Magic in this one as they go up against the Los Angeles Lakers. With Greg Anthony and Chris Webber, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. And here's what the schedule looks like for the Los Angeles Lakers. On Saturday, they'll be taking on Klay Thompson and the Golden State Warriors. And then on Thursday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Brooklyn Nets. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, Aaron Gordon is progressing as a shooter. He said, what I've done is connected my three, my pull-up, and my free throw. They're all the same shot now. I'm going to keep trusting my skill, and eventually it'll all come together. With my motor, I feel like whatever I'm doing out there, I can just keep going and going. Kevin?
Tremendous athleticism. Thanks, D.A. Opening day, Chris. In your experience, which types of teams tend to start the season well, started strong?
Two types. One, the team that has been forgotten about and left out. The team that had a disappointing season the year before, and no one knows the pain that they went through all summer long, waiting to get back to that moment. So they've been incentivized for half of a year to come back and say, wait a minute, it's our turn now. And those teams are sneaky under the radar.
A little chip on their shoulder, in other words.
And then secondly, I would say veteran teams. Teams that know what they want, teams that are focused and saying, wait a minute, we know this is a marathon. Let's take our time, warm up, and stick to the principles right away, and we'll end up in the right place later.
And now the Lakers starting group. Up front, it's Kuzma and Davis. Green and LeBron at the 2 and the 3. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position. And for Orlando, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Isaac in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Rondo, following the miss by Evan Fournier. Fades away. James misses.
Now with the D playing soft off him, he might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling for the jump.
And with LeBron James managing to extend his prime, the pressure is on this Lakers organization to make the most of it.
Yeah, you're right, Jay. I mean, it's the kind of pressure you want, though. I mean, getting those superstar players is the hard part. Finding that supporting cast, that's the hard work part.
And so the Los Angeles Lakers get the first points of the ballgame. And it's Vucevic missing.
Playing him tough inside and preventing the layup, that'll get the whole team pumped up.
And Davis gets it to go.
An elite passer at his position. I mean, James always seems to make the right decision.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Outside Gordon. Orlando moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Lakers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Here's James. From deep three-point range, and no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And that does it for the first quarter. Lakers lead by 4. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what stands out to you from the Lakers in this one?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
So it's Orlando now, trailing by 4.
And last season, they made short work of this club. 2 games, 2 wins.
Yeah, Greg, it makes sense. I mean, when you look at where they both finished, there's a reason one team was in the playoffs and the other one was on vacation.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for the Lakers right now, Davis and Cousins down low at the 4 and the 5. Caldwell Pope and LeBron fill out the wings. And it's Cook in at point. 1:21 left to play here in the half. And the trade for Anthony Davis a risk for the Lakers, but they feel, Greg, that both sides will find an extension this offseason.
There is mutual interest from both sides. Lakers made the trade confident Davis would resign. A bit of a leap of faith, but the Lakers did everything they could to secure Davis long term.
Down low. And Bamba pulls it down.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
Well, that's why he's out there right now. In situations like this, he stands tall to prevent points.
Now here is Augustine. With the teardrop, clock at 6. All by himself. Here's Caldwell Pope. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Oh, the blinding speed of Caldwell Pope is virtually impossible to match up with in transition. He just gets down the floor so incredibly quick.
Here's Augustine. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Cousins. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Now here is Augustine. T right on him. With 1 on the clock, and he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first, and we've been good defensively. We've been organized. We weren't that in that first half, and that's what we got to concentrate on to get the game going back our way.
See if you revert back to your form in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, and we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. A competitive matchup for the Lakers in the first quarter. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. Their play in the second quarter was inspired as they turned what had been a tight contest into a 10-point ball game by the time we reached halftime. And taking a look at the Lakers, Shaq, what'd you think?
Well, Kenny knows about this. I used to do this to his team all the time. Take advantage of you down low. Mismatch. Barbecue chicken alert. Make good entry passes. That led to some good looks. Obviously, a lot of points. When you control the paint, Ernie, you control the game. I was the master of controlling fight paint. Shaquille.
How about you, Kenny? What did you think about Orlando?
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling. Like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. You have to like what we're seeing from Davis.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Yeah, working the ball, getting clean, quality looks. I mean, just efficient basketball through and through.
Chris, when it comes to playing alongside another big guy, I'm sure you have to think of ways to complement each other. Not just him, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah, but it starts with chemistry. It starts with friendship. It starts with wanting to win. And I played with 2 big guys that come to mind that made me better. Juwan Howard there in Washington, just looking at him, throwing a oop. I would miss 2-3 shots in a row, and we'd look, and he'd say, I'll get you an easy one, big fella. And I would do the same thing to him. We're playing with a guy like Vlade that would say, hey, wait a minute, Bibby or Peja didn't get a shot. Set a screen for them, and he would pass it to them. And then the next play say, now it's your turn. You're open, because they're going to go over there to those guys. We already tricked the defense ahead. So guys that are smart, guys that can pass, and also guys that will say, hey, man, you look a little tired. Let's switch. I'll check Shaq this play.
At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon. and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Markelle Fultz. And it's Isaac in at the small forward position. And that's the group for Steve Clifford as we begin the second half. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son Philip was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Kevin?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report. And so Anthony Davis nails both of them. The Magic trail by 10. Fultz with the ball. Picked up by Kuzma. And stolen by LeBron. And a wide open look for Rondo. Drops one in from the wing. Rondo's got his first basket.
And while that jump shot has been a work in progress throughout his career, Rondo every now and then can get hot.
And it's Vucevic missing. Lakers leading by 12. And Davis can't get it to go.
Yeah, and that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
Oh, I'm always surprised when it doesn't happen. I'm sure these two will have a good laugh about it later.
Yeah, love watching Isaac find the open teammate. Has great floor awareness out there and just knows when one of his guys has a clean look.
And here is Los Angeles now, following the bucket by Orlando. 5 on the clock. And here's LeBron outside. It's hauled in by the Magic.
And no need to rush this. Let the clock run down.
Yeah, no need to give the ball back here. You want to close this quarter with momentum.
And the pass to Fournier. Vucevic down low. And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers going into the break with a 10-point lead. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
And just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
How about the unselfishness? Night in and night out, we see guys trying to force their own agenda. Not that time.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. And on the court for the Lakers to start the fourth. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. That's Rajon Rondo. Then there's Avery Bradley. And it's Daniels in at the 2-guard.
These type of challenges, they don't faze Bradley. He's experienced at overcoming aggressive defenses, just like right there.
Fournier against Bradley. Over to the wing. Now here is Augustine. Here's Fournier, and too long on the shot. They can take their time on this possession.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. Just give themselves a little bit of a break.
Augustine against Rondo. To the middle. Here's Bradley. Bamba with the block.
The main thing you get with Bamba, imposing defender, shot blocker, alters everything in the paint. And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for the Lakers.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Davis.
He was everywhere, defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
The first free throw is good. Both teams deciding to change it up. And so Fournier nails both of them. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Certainly. If they just play smart, this game's over.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. McGee, the pass to Cook. 6 to shoot. Launches it. It doesn't go for him. Carter Williams with it. Here's a 1-2. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. And so the Lakers take the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Anthony, this was a win where you guys looked like you were confident and understood that you really can win every time out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, coming into every game, we think we can win each game, and we definitely believe that. You know, we got to go out there and fight every game, you know, hustle, our energy, our defense, and you know, we're going to fight for the rest of the season.
Looking good out there right now, Anthony. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.